So building an SOS application which looks like this. Let me just run in the background while I walk you guys through. And we found ourselves at this extent and everything was done with ChatGPT. We didn't do this bottom section. We'll probably do that today. The SOS button's a bit too large. We're gonna try make that slightly smaller, and we are gonna be working off of a completely new chat GPT. So the time is currently 1952, and we'll probably be done with our next section, which is going to be
Exe, welcome back to NJE NAI Codes. Just AI, no code. Let's cut it up.
what sections we're going to work on. We're probably going to work on the map, and then the feed, I believe, is already there, and chat, I think, will be on the next one. So what we'll work on is improving the screen. Straight after improving the screen, we'll work on implementing the map, and let's see how far we can get in the next 15 to 20 minutes. If you enjoy such content, please make sure you like, please make sure you do subscribe, please make sure you share with all of your friends, your family, because this is basically development using AI simulator or AI plugin or AI, what do they say? By missing ChatGPT. Okay, not terms and conditions. But yeah, you get my point. So we'll be using ChatGPT. Let's see how far we can get without me doing any hard coding from my background and experience. So, as I mentioned last week, what we did is not last week, on the previous video, I had made a specific file for each of the subsections. So, since we're going to work on location, I'll create one. But just for us to realize where we were, we made the first application. It has the map, it has the feed, it has a chat, and it has a profile. And here's the big button that I mentioned that we need to just downsize it a bit, maybe give it a gradient to make it look better, and also have an image over here. And ChatGPT will not have any context of previously asked questions, as I'm starting on a new view. So let's get into it. Enough of me mumbling and jumbling. Okay, so let's go to profile screen. What I'm gonna do, profile home, copy the whole thing, and my context is gonna be straight from here. Please decrease. It's able to take that one sentence and divide it actually into the three different things that I wanted, which is decrease the size, background gradient, and then the my device image missing. So all we do is copy that code, paste it in, and we save. And we have a problem. Oh yes, reason being that it doesn't have the imports. So I need to import all of these items again. And lastly, so it lost the context and it did not put everything in the code. So let's do this. Please don't forget to add the imports, right? So that, oh, there we go. There's the imports that we're missing, but I can bet you it's still going to be an issue because of the function that we had to do the SOS. But it looks like it's here now. So over here, it was saying the start SOS countdown is not existing. Let me copy paste search. Is it in the new code? It is in the new code. And it wants me to download an image. I don't want to download an image, so please use let's look through this code. I want to look for the archive and see what it used. So archive is using an icon. So please use the icons lib for the my device image. Okay, redoing the code. The code also looks like it's a bit more complete. I just need to wait for it to fully render everything. Looks like it's stuck, busy thinking. Okay, there we go. And there we have it. So it actually informs you the stuff that it's done. And let's copy this, toss it in there, and we have no errors. So it fixed itself. Oh, look how nice that looks. So now we have an icon on the My Device. The SOS button still works the same way it worked. And also SOS cancelled, and it gives us our toll-free number of what we choose. Now, I want to try and understand why they had only this on this specific view, which for me doesn't really make much sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase this ratio split. So what we're going to say is, please decrease from 70%, 30% to, let's see if it understands what I'm actually asking, because I'm being very vague with this. And what I'm saying is that I want to split this thing to be decreased because it's a bit too large. And then I'll probably add some padding inside this card. Let's enter. Perfect. Changes the flex from 7 to 6 and 3 to 4. And the nice thing about this is that it actually walks you through what it's about to do and actually shows you and kind of teaches you on what you would want to do, or if you were to code it yourself, what you need to do. So it only gave me the subsection of where it did updates. So it just informed me actually change it from 7 to 6. So I can go in and change that code myself because it is instructing me. So that's actually fine. So let's do that. Find 7. Okay, there it is there. So I'm going to decrease that to a 6. And then the bottom piece, so I'll just collapse this. It's going to be a 4. That kind of looks better. Okay, so what I want to do is, please make sure the My Device and archives buttons are squares. And probably the reason why I want to do that is because that looks a bit offish. So now it tells me again I need to go to the block 4 and copy all of this and paste it all over here, and we have a complete block. And then what I want to do actually is I'm going to decrease this section and then center it, because that's roughly what we had over here, and then probably do those backgrounds. Lastly, I'm going to end off probably with the map. The map should be one of the fastest sections, I hope. So hence why I'm just adding more meat to this, so by the time we get there, it's just more complete, because feeds is already there. Okay, so let's do this. Like the card has extra space on the bottom and top, please remove it. Okay, so it says it's gonna do it. Let's do the same copy that we just did. Paste that in there. Let's save. Okay, so we have a bit of an error here. I think I copied this before it finished. And now error's gone. So it brought us back to where we were. Not what I wanted. Okay, so let's do this then. Please add top margin to the card. So it should be able to keep context of which section we were doing, to give us an idea on what we want to do. So let's make that top margin 30% and then add horizontal padding of, let's say, 5% or 50 pixels. Top margin 30%, horizontal 5%. Let's wait for it to build, and then we're going to copy paste it. So hopefully this is going to bring us closer to what we have here. And I think I like it like this and not necessarily like that. So we're just going to go with the flow and see what we have. The other thing that we need to remove is this top navigation or add bar for Flutter, because we don't have it here. And I don't know if we really want to have it everywhere or if you want to have like a full screen view. But to keep the user in context of which app they're in, it might be a good option to leave it there. Perfecto. So it's smaller, but too small. So decrease the top margin to 10%, and add 5% below. Another thing I like is that it's not spitting out every single detail of code. It's actually informing you what you need to update and what you need to change, which is lovely, because then you end up learning more than just having to dev the whole time or just copy paste content. You can actually learn how to code from using such a platform. Okay, so I think I'm happy with where this is. The only additional thing that I'll probably do is that I would want to add another 5.5 Let's see if it understands this. Like, I'm just throwing random questions so you guys can also see that you don't have to give it every single thing, but you can give it basic context and it's able to understand. I mean, I said, please 5%, not even add, please 5% more on both. And it already understood to bottom and to top. There we go. Perfect. That looks very close to that. That ideally looks very similar. Now the only thing that's probably different is this bottom section here. Okay, let's see if we can word it in there. Okay. Please update the bottom. I know it's a row because I've been reading. Bottom row to have a blue background, like the navigation bar, and then make the top block background white, and with bottom radius of 30 with it floating above the bottom section. Let's see if it understands that. Bottom row background set, and it tells you which section, yes, to be blue. And then top block, make the SOS background white, add border radius of 30 and make it look like it's floating above the bottom section. So full code, please. So I can just copy paste the whole thing. And that is the SOS card. So I can always reference it to as SOS card from now on. I think we have another 10 minutes, so I don't think I will be getting to the location, but I believe we are way closer than where we were at the beginning. Ha! Look at that. Okay. But I don't really like this design. I dig it, but I don't like it. Okay. Please. And I can tell it looks like the row buttons are not squares any more, and the font should be black. The font and icon colors should be black. Yeah, you better update that code. And I guess for the next, like the last 5 minutes, let me try add locations, or at least to show a map on here, and need to just figure out what can we add, or what would we want to add onto that map. So I'm not entirely sure what I would want to add onto it yet. So I have to think about that, and then take it from there. Please make the background, or the scaffolding background white, and make the bottom buttons squares. Scaffolding, well, the scaffold is basically the whole application's background, because I'm not really liking how it's done this. Oh, so I see what it did. It made this float. Like, look at it. It's floating, which is what I wanted, but it didn't get the context of I want this top section to be the one with the border radius. So I'll ask it that. Still not doing anything to these buttons, so it's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine because I'm asking it the same thing, and it seems like it understands what I want. Set scaffolding background to white. That's what it did. Ensure that the bottom buttons have equal height and width. Maintain the square shape. It says it did it. Square buttons, height infinity, container, blah 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 blah. Icon colors are correct. So what I want. But now the other thing that I mentioned that I need to remove, that I don't want, is the top, the app bar. Now that app bar is located on the main app, and that is this section here. So the thing that I was mentioning is we should probably have our app looking something like this. So we have a very similar thing to that. Now what I want to do is that I'll change the sizing of this, but what I want to do is I want to change this gradient color of this button. So I'm going to say the SOS button needs radius all corner of 30, and the 911 section needs to fill its container. So what I'm doing there is I want to make all of these round, and then I want that to also be white. And then what I'm going to do from there is now we're going to play with this gradient, and I'm literally going to say this gradient doesn't look like a danger gradient. Let's make it more prominent. Oopsie. Declare now. This code doesn't work. Please fix. I love how it just apologizes. So, but I wonder if it really knows what it broke though, because it's just apologizing, but I'm not seeing what it actually broke. And if it really knows the context of what it broke. Copy that, paste that. Is the code fixed? We are syncing. Looks like we're still broken. Let me revert to 2 codes back. I think it's pretty much saying that this video is over. Because like, oh, I see what the issue was. I pasted the code in the wrong view. My bad. ChatGPT, you're right. I'm gonna tell it you're right. Sorry, my bad. Let's see how polite it is. No worries. Where I should be is profile home. I'm gonna paste into profile home. Oh, look at that. That is literally what we wanted. And then now the SOS gradients don't look like danger. Please make it more prominent. I spelled it right the first time. And then straight after there, we pretty much, I think we should be done with this. At least I know where all of this is. So that won't be an issue in terms of updating it. So let me just update it. It's a bit of hard coding, but as I said, it teaches you where you need to do the stuff and how to do it. So I don't think I necessarily have to be so unrealistic to it. So this, I need to look for an all. Find all, which is this border radius. And then I can go up to here, to the card, which is this part, and do that. Because we're learning how we can implement the code, because we've already seen the code. And then what we had previously that we don't have anymore is the margins, top and bottom margin. Still 10%, but we're not seeing it there. And then the card, where do you change the color? Color white. There we go. We have everything there. And I see we have a line here. What is that line? That line, I think, is this divider. We don't want that. So we have it as that. But I don't like the padding. But we asked it to make the danger button. Flip. I'm going to have... No. So what we're going to do is we're going to find SOS, because I did some code updates. We want the gradient, right? So